Robbie Tillman. As Brantley gets set now, there's a little handoff to number 30. He is hit hard out there. Timing 9 yards to go. There's a little fakes. Number 32 broke up over the left side of
Well, hello and welcome to this week's edition, week 7 of the Red Raider Coaches Show. My name is Brent Johnson, your host, along with head coach Thad Williams. Thad, always good to see you. Man, we're just zooming through the season. Just a few weeks ago we were talking about, we're finally into region play, and now we're just 4 games left, and it's flown by. We're about to finish the 10th week of the school year, which is pretty remarkable. This time last year we were trying to recover from a disastrous hurricane, once in a lifetime, I hope, event. Missed almost 2 weeks of school and messed up, football and softball and all kinds of stuff. But this year is just flying, zooming by. I always say time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome back. It's been a 2-week hiatus. We had an off week last week. The week prior, we'll discuss that in just a moment, as we went over to Nashville, Georgia, and faced the Berrien High School Rebels. But first of all, for tomorrow night's game, I want to invite you to come out, as I always do. A couple things are going on. First of all, at the beginning of the game, looks like we're going to recognize the rec teams, the rec ball. It's always fun to see those kids and those coaches and the cheerleaders from the rec department. The future Raiders come out on the field. They're going to line up. Our Raiders are going to run through there like we've done the last couple of years. That's always exciting. So come out and acknowledge those future Raiders, recognize them. And then something we've started just a few years back that's been pretty cool as well, and this is the Red Raider Wall of Fame. If you've been by the front of the stadium, you'll see a literal wall where there's plaques that represent the guys that's already been recognized throughout the decades, and that's what we've been recognizing as different players during the decades. It's 4 dudes we're going to be recognizing Friday night. Got them wrote down here so I didn't mess them up. The 1960s is going to be Mr. Wayne Brigman. From the 1970s, Mr. Tony Lee. And then in the 80s, Tommy Davis, the Hammer, Tommy Davis in the 80s. And then we're going to be recognizing one of our coaches, a longtime coach at Bacon County, an administrator before he retired. And you'll see him around now if you come to the ball games. He's taken a lot of photos for the fans, for the players, for the parents, and that is Coach Gavin Vickers. And so we're going to be recognizing all 4 of these gentlemen tomorrow. Fun fact, I just got a text this morning saying that each one of those players from each of those decades, they won at least 1 or more ball games against Jeff Davis High School. So no pressure. Right? No pressure. We don't want them to be a part of them being recognized and not get that victory, right? But I thought that was interesting myself. But I also want to have a huge thank and shout out to it was Southside Church of God that fed the boys on that day that they traveled over to Nashville for that game we had a couple weeks ago. So talking about that game in Berrien County, I was on the horn. The away games, I enjoy being able to commentate as our broadcast team does their thing. I saw some stuff we left on the field. We started off a little slow. Both teams kind of was a little sluggish, but our defense played well again. Held them 12 points total in the game, and they didn't score. They scored early and then didn't score again till late. I never really felt like the game was. We were truly in danger of losing the game, but I just, man, we've talked about it. We just want to put these teams away. And no offense to them, but I really believe, just like over in Lanier, we were probably 2 or 3 scores better from our roster wise, but unfortunately, we wasn't able to do that. So we always kind of talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what was some of the good things that you saw that you took away from that game?
The good probably be just bouncing back from that Thomasville loss, coming and not just thinking about that Thomasville loss and what happened. We actually came out and battled. That's what I wanted. I want to see how we was going to bounce back, and we did. We played hard. Like you said, the defense played great. Coach, I give props to Coach Wilder, Coach Brown, and Coach Easton. Man, they do a great job. They do great preparation throughout the week, and you saw it. They stood up and they took multiple fourth down stops.
Yes,
multiple fourth down stops, and that's what we need. To be a good football team. If you're gonna stop them, they can't score. That's what we shoot for. To shut out.
Yes.
But sometimes we start off a little slow. But the defense just played great. On offense, we just gotta finish.
Yeah.
Put them away. We'll be rolling. Then we'll shoot ourselves in the foot. And then something happened. A penalty here, a penalty there. So. Like you said, gotta put them away. Lanier had that same feeling. We just didn't put them away. And that's what we did in Nashville. Couple throws we didn't make. I wish we would have connected with. And in my heart, I think we would have put them away.
Gotcha.
But we just let them stick around. But we end up sealing the deal. So I was real proud of how we bounced back.
Yeah.
Getting. Beat like that against Thomasville.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of hard to put
all
behind
day
you.
Friday, I was worried. How are we going to answer the call? Are we going to bounce back? Are we just going to keep thinking about Thomasville? What happened? But I told him, I said that was the first test. Thomasville, we were ready for playoff ball, and very rare we came out and responded.
Yeah.
But we just got to put people away.
That's right.
We got to put people.
Well, you mentioned that the week of that show that they like to run the ball. They got a quarterback that was mobile, and he was. Had a running back. Boy, he's a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
All but one, I think he took off for maybe 35 or 40 yards one time.
Yeah.
But we did the job there.
Yeah.
We contained them. They were not very comfortable throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't appear. And when you put somewhat of a one-dimensional team in that situation, it does make it more favorable. But I thought we. Number one, you said it. We responded very well coming off of that lopsided victory that Thomasville had against us at home. Showing up over there like our defense did and did what they had to do. We did miss a few pass plays, some connections there, but I did see some new faces get involved on the offense. We had some nice little slants across the middle, great throws, great catches, and that's. We've talked about that all season long. As much attention that Santee's going to get, it's going to open up the window and the doors for these other guys to get some one-on-one matchups as well that are good athletes too. And we saw that on display, and that was fun to watch. And then as always, we ran the ball pretty well too.
Yeah, we did.
They really couldn't stop us. We almost kind of stopped ourselves. Like I said, had a few hiccups with some penalties and a couple things, but. Number 4 always runs hard, very emotional guy, and that's double edged. That's good. We want a kid that's emotional. You got to rein it in and control it. But if you can control it, boy, he's different. He's special. We know that. And so again, everything's still ahead of us, right?
Yeah.
Even we didn't get the victory kind of like we wanted it. Man, we got to win. But we're just trying to get better each week, and that's what you and your coaching staff's trying to do.
That's it.
And that's important. So, we're going to spend a lot of time on Barry, and that was 2 weeks ago. That's old stuff. So we got a big game this week. Twofold. Number one, it's another big region game, like all of them are. But, you've been around our program for, off and on for the last 8 or 10 years. I'm still not sure if you truly understand the rivalry between Jeff Davis. I always go back. Mr. Mike Wheeler told me this probably 25 years ago. I don't remember what conversation. He said, we got to beat Jeff Davis in everything, from marbles to basket weaving. It doesn't matter. We got to beat Jeff Davis in everything. And so this is a time for our boys to be able to step up and do something that we like to do. We want to beat Jeff Davis, but they got a good program. The coach over there, what's his name?
Coach Hilton.
Coach Hilton, he's done a great job.
Great job.
Building. They got some big boys. Building their weight program, and they run a style of offense that's it's 5-6 yards in a pile of dust kind of thing, and then they'll pop one here and there, and then they can throw it when they need to. I don't think they like to, but I think they can throw it. He's pretty efficient. I think they surprise you sometimes. They throw it sometimes when you don't necessarily, they don't have to.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that you got to be watching out for. But their quarterback, I think he's young, but he's good kid, really good quarterback, runs that offense well. I mentioned to you the other day, or we talked, and I got his name here, Sellers. I typically don't mention names from other teams, but he's a pretty popular kid in South Georgia. He's getting recruited. Maybe he's even committed to a school in South Florida. So they're going to be ready to go, ready to play. A lot of excitement. I got them at 5-1 overall. They're 2-1 in region play. They got hammered by Thomasville, 56-21, I think, something like that. So they got a taste of that as well, or a bad taste in their mouth, kind of like us. We're sitting at 4-2, 1-1 in region play. This is a teeter-totter here. So the winner of tonight's game is going to go a long way toward, number one, our region standings, but number two, the power rankings. And so it's a big game. So what can we expect out of that quarterback, that linebacker? Does he play some on offense too?
Yeah, he plays some tight end, wide out.
So what will we see? Describe a little bit about their offense. What we'll see.
Like I said at Barron week, that quarterback's pretty good. What this one is he's just as good, and he's fast. He made great reads on the offense that they run, and they got some fast backs. Got some backs that can go. Got some backs that can do it. Got a fullback that's really, really good. 2 of them. I actually know one of them personally, but they run it to perfection. Mm-hmm. So what do we got to do? I love the comparison with Georgia. Georgia Tech back in the day. You got to do your job. You got to do your job. So that's what we've been practicing all week, doing your job, staying disciplined. Yeah. Don't try to do nobody else's job. Do your job. And Coach Hilton is doing a great job over there. I've actually talked to him early in the week, and me and him are great buddies, and got a lot of respect for Coach Hilton and what he's doing. Me and him worked up on the Coach Tumbling. So we got that tree, a coaching tree that we kind of share together. But Sellers is a great player. Sellers can make plays. He plays backer on defense, and they put him at tight end. They put him at wide out. They throw it out there to him. So we gotta identify him at all times. We gotta know where Sellers is at on both sides of the ball. Division I athlete, committed to South Florida. So we have in the game plan. That's what we put. We got to know where Sellers is at. On offense, we got to know where Sellers is at. So when it comes to double teams and going to the second level, we got to know where Sellers is at. But that quarterback is good. Okay, it's another task that we got to do. Just like I told you with number 4 from Barry, even number 4 from Lanier.
Yes. It's
just week after week after week of what we got to do. So told the defensive staff, hey, I know I done told y'all this before, but we got to box that quarterback in. We got to not let him outside them tackles, and we got to keep him inside those tackles. So it's another task for our defense. It ain't nothing that I can, shy away from. It's just what we got to deal with week in and week out.
Yeah.
You saw SEC this past week. Big games, and Arch Manning going down in Florida. So that's that's our mentality. Yeah. It ain't no easy week. There's no easy week on our schedule, and we got to play. It's a rival game.
Yeah.
I told the team after practice yesterday, man, I've been here 10 years. I know what it means, but I really don't understand it like how they understand it. Yeah. They've been in this rivalry their whole life, So, like I said, the 10 years I know about it. I'm starting to feel, the rivalry, but it's deeper and it means more to them. So it just means more to me. I care about them. I care about what our guys, how they feel. So it's a rival game. It's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
Hoping for a big crowd. Don't forget to let me mention that at the end about everybody coming out. We're gonna need the excitement. But it's a big game. Power rankings. We're number 14. They're number 16. So it's a lot riding on this game. So we got to lock in. My main speech for this week has been focus.
Right.
Can we focus? Can we focus on what we got to do? They're not going to throw it 100 times. They're not. They're going to run option, midline. They're going to do all that. Throw it to the pitch man, pitch it to the pitch man. They're going to do that. So are we able to do our job? Are we going to not get 15-yard penalties? You know, that's what we gave to Thomasville. You know, so we got to focus. We got to lock in. So that's our main focus, and that's what I've been preaching all week.
Well, and in a game like that, in an option offense, it's all about discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It's your gap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not like you said earlier, not somebody else's gap. Because it's just as soon as one person is out of place, they're going to the house.
It's gone.
Yeah, and because you're already playing up. Like once they get that second level, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, it's that discipline. You know how offensively for us, you know, we're spread.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody healthy. We're looking pretty good as far as this point in the season.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm actually, I don't want to jinx us, but we're working hard in the weight room at week 7. So working hard, not taking no day off, getting after it. So the weight room is taking care of us, and we're working. So as far as injuries, everybody's good. Had a little incident on Tuesday, but he's good. And everybody's ready to roll.
Well, that's good. You know, and we're excited. You know, especially anytime we can get Jeff Davis at home. I definitely don't like playing over there, and we want it to where they don't like coming over here. It's been a couple years since they have been, and I expect a big crowd. They see us like we see them. So I really feel like between the Red Knight, between the Wall of Fame, and it just being Jeff Davis, I feel like going to be full. I think theirs are going to be full. They're going to bring a pretty good sized band over, and that, you know, on their side and that kind of thing too. So we're going to have a full house, and you know, we're broadcasting live from home, and I know there's some folks out there that are my subscribers that can't make it, and then there's folks all across the state and around the world that watch our broadcast as well, from military to business travelers or whatever the case may be. But if you can come to this game tomorrow night, man, this is where we want you, in the bleachers on the sideline, making some noise for our boys, because it is a rivalry. You know, we want to beat Jeff Davis with all we got, but again, this is a pivotal game for both teams from a regional standpoint, and really for that power ranking standpoint. And you know, a lot of us we went over that. We won't talk about it today and put him on the spot, but how all that particularly works. But you know, it's wins matter. You know, losses against other teams. You know, our region is so tough. You know, we've got Worth County ranked number 1. We got Thomasville at number 2. We've got Fitzgerald. I think they're down at like number 11 or 12, and then in the ranking, not power rankings, but just the state rankings through Max Prep, they do that composite ranking. And then Jeff Davis is hovering right there at 12 or 13. So that's 4 teams in the top 13 in the state that's in our region. And we keep saying that, but it's the truth. It's the toughest region in the state. I know it is for football. I know it is for baseball as well. We saw that in our season last year. One other side note, I don't know if he watches our show, probably doesn't, but most of you will remember his name, those of you that do watch the show. Mr. Chris Ropey. He was a classmate of mine. He's a year older than me. He graduated in '93, but you know, I often, when I run into him over there, or when he comes over here, we're very cordial. I always like Chris, big smile. You know, if you've ever met him, you know him. He's done a great job. He taught. He moved from there to Appleton County a little bit, but he was principal at the high school for several years, and then they shot him up to superintendent. Does a great job in that county. But I ask him every time. I said, "Man, how do you sleep at night?" I mean, he played football for Bacon County. He played baseball for Bacon County. He was a 4-year letterman in both of those sports. And I'm like, how do you sleep at night over there at Jeff Davis? I mean, come on, dude. But it'll be fun. Maybe I'll get a chance to. I don't get to see too many people where I'm at up in the booth, but maybe I'll get to run into him. I'm sure he'll be there. rooting the jackets on. I just don't know how he does it. I mean, I don't know. And his dad was a legend. We've already recognized him, as a Wall of Famer. And so, but anyway, I'm just giving you a hard time, Chris, if you watch the show or somebody let him know. But again, we're excited going into this week, and Coach already mentioned we want you to come out and be a part of something special. We truly believe that this team has the ability to do something special this season. If they stay focused, stay disciplined, and do the little things, and who knows? And we'll let the power rankings take care of themselves. But yeah, Coach, anything else you wanna add?
I'm very appreciative of all the support so far this season. Seeing the fans on the road, in Nashville, that made me very, very happy. I know you kind of see me at the end where I just threw my hands up, but I'm very thankful. Just want to see everybody come out this Friday night and support us and be loud, and we can kind of use that home field advantage.
That's right, and that's what it is. We want a home field advantage. So again, I encourage you to come out tomorrow night. 7 o'clock, I think, is probably about when we'll recognize the rec department teams of all ages there, the football players, the coaches, and the cheerleaders and their staffs. And then we'll start the game, and then at halftime, right at the beginning from what I understand, the beginning of halftime is when the Wall of Fame inductees will be recognized, and our band will perform, and then we'll start the second half. But please come out if you can. Let's put a warm body in the stand. It's gonna be we're getting some football weather. I think it's gonna be in the high 60s, mid 60s about kickoff around 8 o'clock. So it's gonna be really nice. So again, encourage you to come out. So on behalf of myself, Brent Johnson, head coach Thad Williams, thank you again for joining us on this week's edition of the Red Raider Coaches Show.